Hello everybody, hope you are doing great at your place. In today's demonstration, we'll do some of these activities. First, we'll create a web application in Visual Studio 2019. After that, we'll create an Azure Container Registry, create an Azure Container instance, and then we'll run this particular instance on the browser using ACI. My name is Abhishek Matre, and @Abhimetre is my Twitter handle. Let's get started. First thing first, we are going to create an application to save the time. I have already created a ready-made application using the predefined template, but only one thing I have I have added here is the Docker support. I hope if you are familiar with the coding, you definitely understand how to create the Docker support. And if it is not predefined, then you can create the Docker file inside your application and you can keep it somewhere here. So my Docker file, it has been created by the system itself. And if anyhow you forgot, you can go to the project file, right click, add, and use the Docker support, this thing, right? And the way it will ask for which type of operating system do you want to use, you can go with the Linux or Windows. I'm going with the Linux. Okay, right click. So once your application is done, what you can do is you can just start build your application. It will follow some steps and it will build the application first and also check for the availability of Docker image. So Docker these images which is mentioned in the Docker file. See this Docker exe file, exe command has started, and it will do some exercise in background, and finally it will bring the images required for this project from the Docker registry, right? And the build is succeeded, fine. Other Our new step is next step is first we'll in the local we'll run the application. Let's see how does it look like. It is building, and this time we are running this application on IS Express, which is the default nature. Otherwise we can also, we have an option to run this application on the Docker, which will run locally. So it is not to say, but uh, Docker has to be installed on your local system. So my application is actually executing, and in a moment it will show me the output. So because it is the predefined template, so I have not uh, had a very fancy content on this application. So it is expecting some time. All right, finally it is executed, and this should be the output of this application. So I'm just closing it down, stopping the application. Fine, now we are ready to go for Azure Container Registry and Azure Container Instance. For that matter, we have to have one Azure account. We have to have some subscription. I have already logged in into my portal, Azure portal, and this is the first interface of my account. So what I'm doing is I'll go to here and click on the create a resource, and I can go to containers. And first of all, I primary target is to create the container registry. I'm sure the viewers of this video may know about container registry in advance or container instance in advance. If they are not known to it, just understand this, why we are going to create a container registry, because we wanted to publish our application's image into container registry. And Azure Container Registry itself is a local version, Azure version of Docker, right? So there are other options like hub.docker.com. You can just go there and install your image there. Means you can copy the image there, but uh, we are not preferring to go there. We are just working on Azure. So let get focus on the Azure side, right? So this is the primary interface, and we need to pass out some of the information required on this screen. Like for example, subscription, it will automatically populate, and then after that you have to create some resource group. If you have anyone in advance, you can write it there. Otherwise you just directly can click on create new, and you can say ACR demo. That is my, and this is available. This is my resource group name, which is newly created. Instance name means you have to pass your registry name, what you wanted to say your registry to. See, for example, I'm saying ACR demo reg, something like that. If it is available, let's check this. It should be globally unique, and it is finding out the name inside the Azure acr.io throughout. So this is the unique name, and it passed. And any location you can choose. In my case, I'm taking West Europe, or maybe we can check changes. East US, for example, East US 2. I don't need any availability zone as of now. I'm sure you know about the availability zone. So I'm skipping this part and going with the standard version. Otherwise, we can also opt the basic or premium. Premium is far expensive and having the great features. Basic has very less features, but standard is almost the you know in the middle of all these two. So other than that, I have the other options like for networking, encryption tabs. So for this demonstration, I don't think so these things are really required, because these options would only be activated in case you are using uh, this one primary SKU. See this, it is written here, and I'm just going to review and create. It is checking, it is validating the kind of input I have given are correct or not. Yes, it is corrected, and let me create it. So it is initializing the deployment, and it will take a couple of seconds to provision the specific resource which I have demanded for, and it will intimate me. So my deployment is in progress. Let's see how soon it is done. The resource is provisioned, and we can go to resource, and this is the interface we have received. Inside that, various number of informations are given, but currently where we need to go is we need to just scroll the services here, and we need to go to the repositories part under the services. And currently I'm expecting there is no repository. Yes, as expected, because it is currently it is a blank container registry. Our next job is to push the image here, which we'll do through the Visual Studio. Let's move to the Visual Studio. Now, as we have already run the application is running fine. So what is the other step? We have to go to the project under the Solution Explorer, right click on this, go to publish. Inside publish, there would be various options asked. For this demonstration, we are thoroughly focusing on the Docker container registry, right? So select this option, and click next. And Azure container registry is our target. You can say that repository where we need to push our image. Okay, click on this, next, and it is validating one if you are logged in with the correct credential which is there on the portal you have signed in. So it will fetch out all the required details, like for example subscription name and the resource group type. Here are there are two options, resource group and resource group type. So we will select the resource group, and it will by default fetch out all the resource groups which may have register related resources available. So currently I have only one, so it has listed out here. Select this uh, container registry, which is blank as of now. Or otherwise, if you have not created a container registry there, you can go and probably you can utilize this feature, and you can create the container registry from here itself. Just click on this plus button, and you'll get the other interface, and you need not to be worried about to go to the Azure portal and create there. It will create itself here. Okay, but just because we have already created a container registry through the portal. So I mean, in any of the way we can go and create, right? Okay, finishing this activity, what it is doing is it will run some Docker commands which will build. Now click on publish. Now it would start building the image. it will fetch out all the required images on the background, which is mentioned in the Docker file, and it may take couple of seconds or minute. So either we can wait here or we can see what process is actually going ahead inside. So let's see this. So layer by layer it is studying, and it will fetch out whatever written in the Docker file. What we can do is, for better understanding, we can go to the Docker file and let's see again. Yeah, this is the Docker file, and open the activity. So now look at this. So it is determining the what kind of images we have passed. See, for example, at the base image we have given Microsoft.com, .NET, and this thing, ASP.NET 5. Now it is started with the docker.exe, which will basically prepare the number of layers based on the given instructions here in the Docker file, and it will bring out, pulling first of all these information from the Docker Hub, and will prepare our local image. See this. Now it is preparing, it has already done that activity. Now it is creating the image for us, and it is pushing this to the container registry, right? Some of the layers have been already pushed and couple of them are left, so it may take some few seconds. Either we can wait or we can skip this for a moment. Although the speed is very fast, I'm expecting in a couple of seconds it will be done. Almost done, right? All the layers have been posted, and let's see, go to the Azure portal and just refresh this window. Once you refresh it, you will find the image you have actually created through your Visual Studio will now start appearing here. And after this, what you can do is you just can click on this, and you will get the tag which is latest, which we have actually mentioned at the moment when we created the ACR, indeed. So go back, or maybe I can give you some other glimpse. You can click on latest, and you'll see the various uh, details here. So what you can do is you can just copy this command and you can run in your local environment as well. But for this time, I don't think so. We are going to choose this option. Just close this, go back to container registry. Now, because this is an image, it cannot run directly on the browser. So what we have to do is we have to create the container instance so that we can get the output of the application in that instance, right? So let me create the container instance. I just open the other duplicate window of Azure portal, and yeah, it's coming. Now the other option is we will go again to create a resource, either this here or maybe there, or maybe we can write somewhere here, right? So that's up to us. There are various options. Now again go to containers, and there is a container instance. Click on this, right? The similar kind of interface you will get here, which have you have received on you have seen in container registry. The subscription, it will automatically populate for you, and I can reutilize the same ACR demo resource group. Both the things would remain in the same resource group. Container name you have to pass, like for example, ACR I can say, uh, con, or yeah, this name is available, ACR icon, and east us2. And this time, see, in the quick start it has the various options of image source. Quick images, it can show you, populate some various available images, like for example there are three different images. This is mainly for the testing, but because we have our own container registry, so we'll opt this option, Azure container registry. it will automatically populate the container registry for me, but it shows me an error. Admin user must first be enabled. Okay, when you find such kind of error, what you can do is you can go back to container registry, and inside the container registry, just go to your uh, this option repositories, and there is a repository, and you can just go a little bit up on the settings, and you'll find one option is access keys. Click here, and you'll see there is an admin user. So what you can do is you can just enable the admin user, so that yes, it gives me two sets of password and the username indeed. I currently don't require it here, but after doing this you can go back, and unfortunately I have to reload this once again so that this error could go. I have to pass the information once again. Right, not a big deal. ACR demo, and I'm saying ACRI con and Azure Container Registry. This time it has not given any sort of error because the problem was resolved. Now image is this one which we have created in the container registry. Remember the name. This is the absolutely the same name of registry, and the tag is latest. You remember this when we go to the repositories and click on this. So our current tag is latest, right? The same thing. Okay, operating system type is Linux, as we decided at the beginning, and the size is, although it is very small size, but that's enough for me for this demonstration, so let it be as is. And we can just either we can visit to the other tabs like networking, but I don't think so. It is currently we are focusing on, and we can just review and create. It will check, validate all the information, are the correctly passed or not. Yes, it is correct, and I just hit the create button, and this container instance may further take a couple of seconds to create the image for me, and deployment is in progress. It will come back shortly. So the whole process is let me focus meantime on the screen. Right, okay, let me take some space. The focus is, first of all, we have to create a ACR, right, for where we will keep the image, and we have to also create the ACI where we will keep the container, right? So what would happen, our VS code will basically generate the image, and that image will, when be uh, for execution, we have to create a container through the ACI container, because this is the one which will be utilized inside the browser, right? Image is kind of nothing but a kind of blueprint which is not direct executable would become in the container itself. So let me go back to the portal. I think this would be ready. Yeah, it's ready. Go to resource. Great, my container instance is ready, and you would find one IP address here, public IP address. Just copy this path, go to the browser, and just paste it here and run. Bingo, your application is working as it was working in locally when we run it through IIS Express as is. But the only difference is now it is running from the Azure container instance. So that is the purpose of this demonstration. Hope the things are pretty clear to you. If it is not, you can just go to the uh, comment section and you can write it to me, so that I will answer your any question, any doubt, and we'll have further communication over the same. And thanks for watching this small video. My name is Abhishek Matre once again, and you can reach me out on Twitter handle @abhimatre. All right, see you again. Bye bye.